I've been working since the child labor laws were in effect, but before they were enforced. I was 14 when I started washing dishes in a restaurant and have been working on and off ever since. I got my work ethic from my grandma Genoveva Chavez. She raised 11 children alone after Grandpa died. I was born in Taos, New Mexico. I lived there until age 3 when my parents moved to Tooele, Utah to work at the ordnance depot. I grew up and went to school there until the 10th grade. At age 16, I married Adolfo Romero. Since my father passed 8 years prior, my mother moved in with us and I cared for her for over 30 years. In 1966, we all moved to California for 2 years, then we moved back to Utah, then Arizona. My 3 children were born in 3 states. Finally, we moved to New Mexico, where we raised our children. I spent most of my life doing jewelry manufacturing. I loved it. I did it for over 25 years, so I don't have much experience in other fields. But I've always been a fast and willing to learn a new kind of job person. For example, when I was younger, I did electronic assembly, and I was also a licensed beautician. Unfortunately, within a span of 7 years, I've lost my daughter, my son, and my husband. For 2 years, I was a full-time caregiver for my husband until he died in August of 2012. I only have now my youngest son, who has a family of his own and lives in the same neighborhood as I do. In 2008, the jewelry company I worked for was sold and I was laid off. I found another jewelry making job, but I was laid off again because I had to take time off to care for my husband. Most importantly, I began to notice employers were paying cheaper wages to less experienced workers from other countries. So at the age of 67, I found myself completely out of work. I felt lost. I didn't know what to do. Although I can no longer stand more than 15 minutes at a time and I cannot lift heavy objects like I used to, I still felt like I had a lot to offer, and I do. Unfortunately, when seniors apply for work, I think many employers only look at our age and not our experience and capability. I have filled a lot of job applications, sometimes 2 or 3 times for the same company, and I never got a call back. I've always hesitated when I had to write down my age and the year I was born. Eventually, I began to feel sad and depressed. I was tempted to find a way to escape, but God blessed me by answering my prayers. In May 2014, I heard about NICOA through the State Senior Affairs Program. I filled out an application, and shortly afterwards, I was called in for an interview. NICOA helped me find the extra income I needed to pay my utilities. I felt relieved. I felt happy. I caught on and gained new job skills quickly. Since July 2014, I've been working at the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. By listening to other stories, I've realized there's so many New Mexicans who are struggling to survive in this beautiful state. I think leaders across our state and country need to better understand the needs of our elderly and disabled community. Our senior citizens might be old school, but with more funding for education and job training, we still have a lot to offer to this great nation. Don't put us in rocking chairs before our time. Remember, one day you'll be old too. Treat people how you would like to be treated. Be aware of elder abuse and elder discrimination. They exist in our communities today. Old age is a great equalizer. If you're lucky, you'll live to be old too.